Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is. Welcome back to Tweener Heads. Welcome back to another Tweener Head tennis video today here on our channel. If you are new, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that way you don't miss any new videos that we're creating here on our channel. Yes, this is very impromptu. Yes, this is on my phone because I've been working, and after a very long day that I can say that was the men's final, I decided to create my reaction video to the women's and men's semifinal through this video. So if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're already here, make sure to leave a like as well. Make sure your notifications are turned on. Let's get straight into the video. Look, I really don't know how people did not watch the men's final, because that match went from the biggest dud to one of the most exciting matches throughout the entire tournament. Not only did Thiem come back from 2 sets down, but he did it in a way that was so effortlessly and so well fought. Like, he came back from 2 sets down, and we thought literally, and if you watched my live stream the other day when I was streaming my reaction, I literally thought to myself, like, it was going to be terrible. Like, I thought it was going to be a straight sets victory. I thought Zverev was going to win in like an hour and a half. Then all of a sudden, 5-4, Thiem gets the break, and breaks Zverev at 6-4 to make it in the third set. Thiem did not play it all the way I thought he was going to play. After watching the Medvedev semifinal, there were a lot of questions of whether or not Zverev even had a chance to win this final. Because there was, if you watch both semifinals and you told me who was in better form, you would say Thiem, no matter what, right? Zverev, and I said this in my preview, Thiem played a better 3-set match than Zverev did in 5. The quality of level that he played against Medvedev, and I was referencing this throughout the entire live stream, he played so well, and his 3-setter against Medvedev felt like a 5-setter compared to Zverev's 5-setter that felt like a 3-setter, if that makes sense. But I also thought the way Zverev came out to play was a lot better than Thiem's. Thiem looked very flat-footed. Zverev was firing off 135, 137, 138 bombs. And towards the end of the match, where his serve gave him trouble, the beginning of the first 2 sets, his serve was very reliable. The guy won over 90% of his serves, first serves. 90%. That's unheard of against a guy like Thiem, who's, in my mind, a very underrated returner. Yes, it's a very different type of return where the guy waits basically with his feet touching the back fence, but Thiem does do that because he wants to wind up and get prepared more in the shot. And with his returns usually go to the back of the baseline rather than floating to the service line, which it seemed like what was happening within the first 2 sets. Nevertheless, he was able to come back and win in 5 sets. And we have to talk about Zverev. Zverev, I don't think, was playing badly. I think he was fighting no matter what, and we saw that towards the end when he was yelling, when he was showing his emotion that we saw, and we got to see that roar of his, which was fantastic. Seeing that passion that we've been looking for, like Zverev started pumping his fist, started getting into it more, and from a mental standpoint as well, you could see that Zverev was not losing his cool. To be honest, I could have sworn that he was going to throw his racket no matter what. In the third, after he lost the third, after he lost the fourth, you thought that you would see him break a racket because that seems to be a consistent trait that he has had, but it looked like he very much improved. He improved very well and did it on such a scale that he was able to stop a comeback that Thiem was having in the second set. Zverev was up 5-2 in the second. Let's go back to that early on in the game. Zverev was up 5-2 in the second set. Gets broken twice to make it 5-4. He even faced another break point at 5-4 and was able to hold on his serve to take the second set 6-4. Like, that mentally as well was stopping the momentum, but that was the point. That was also the turning point for Thiem, where he started feeling and playing out his game very well. That was, I think, the start of the comeback that we were looking for from Thiem. That energy, that feel, those forehands down the line. Like, at the end of the set, I think there were 3 balls that Thiem hit up the line where I freaked out on, because him when Zverev was coming to net, and it was very key for him as well, when Zverev was coming to net later in the match, Thiem was hitting forehands up the line where that Zverev was covering to a point that I didn't think it was possible. He started hitting Rafa-level forehands, just whipping it past Zverev. Like, how do you defend that? You can't. You really can't defend that at all. So seeing him do that really showed you, okay, it's now Thiem's match. Thiem is now into this. And the last thing I have to say, there's a couple things, but the main things that I want to talk about is I thought Zverev did a very good job of coming to net. Zverev really proved that he has a net game that we rarely see, and I think he should utilize a lot more because of how well he was able to dig out his backhand volley. I thought his backhand volley was one of the best things that I saw from his match against Thiem. Like, from high to low, like, he was doing such a great job of, technically too, if you watch him, he even had a flying backhand volley out of the air that just looked picture perfect. Picture perfect. Kind of looked like when Federer's at Wimbledon, like that level of perfection that you see. And I think the last thing I'm going to say about the men's singles final was these two are the future of men's tennis when Rafa, Roger, and Djokovic retire. They are the future of men's tennis. Seeing that and seeing them play an unbelievable 5-setter where everyone was sweating in the 5th set tiebreaker, like that's like peak tennis. At least the second half was. That's peak tennis. That's what you want to see more often of. That's like, it's so great to see players playing at such a level where they have to fight mentally and physically. We even saw a Thiem take a medical timeout at 6-5 in the 5th set, and you don't see players doing that. He had his thigh wrapped. The guy was cramping 100%. Honestly, if someone in the medical field is watching this as well, can you let me know if Red Bull somehow has medical properties to force a cramp or not let someone cramp? So if you could comment down below about that, that would be amazing. But the speech Zverev gave as well, like, so emotional, really had me in my feels, really had everyone in their feels, because we've been waiting for Zverev to make that final for a really long time. We knew Thiem was going to get there eventually with making 3 or 4 Grand Slam finals. This was his 4th, 2 in the French Open, 1 in the Australian Open earlier this year. But I mean, Thiem even had that comment, maybe I should call Andy Murray if I lose this match to see how good to deal with these losses. And that was before the final even started. So he put out into the air that Thiem was gonna, that Zverev was gonna win. Like, you don't do that, in my opinion. You do not do that. That's just bad. That's just a bad omen to start with. But it was great to see Zverev and Thiem battle it out. And congratulations to Dominic Thiem on being this year's 2020 U.S. Open Men's Singles Champion. So, congratulations to both of them on an unbelievable run. Now, let's move on to the women's final. If you told me Osaka was down 1-6, love 2, love 30 in the final, we would say that it was not her day. We would say that it was not her fight. Azarenka, unbelievable player, coming back and having one of the best, like, month of her life. Like, yeah, I would say so, but I posted a photo of myself squinting at the TV screen, like, in awe, because I didn't believe what was happening. The fact that that women's final started off like that, like, the first set finished in, I think, like, 26, 28 minutes, 6-1 for Azarenka, blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. The fact that that Azarenka was playing out of her mind that early and Osaka wasn't, playing to her best, holy shit. You see that coming? I don't think anyone saw that coming. It was, I think, from that standpoint, it was Osaka's to lose. Like, we knew Azarenka was going to give a good fight, but at that point, we figured that Azarenka would win it after the first set because maybe the pressure was getting to her. And first of all, we're just going to go side note on this. Pam Shriver had the worst tweet I've ever seen in my life. The fact that she even tweeted out composure. Pam Shriver had the worst tweet that I saw during the U.S. Open. There were a lot of bad tweets, but the fact that she tweeted out that I wonder if the U.S. Open from 2018 is really getting to her here after the 1-6 first set loss. No! Wrong! Okay, I'm getting caught up in that tweet, but yes, it was a very bad tweet, and I thought from Osaka's standpoint too, Osaka really came through in the second set and playing her game, playing deep shots, hitting that aggressive forehand and backhand up the line, which she started to need to do early on in the match. But she couldn't accomplish those returns too that she was trying to go up the line with that you saw later on. She played her game during the second set. She was more aggressive. She was a fighter. She was going for those deep down the line shots and winners that she really needed to accomplish. And Azarenka kind of had the same start that Zverev had, serving over like 90% of her first serves, playing to her ability, playing out of her mind. But Osaka found her rhythm after that second set. In the third set, we have to point out that both of them started playing Ferrari. Both of them started playing to their ability. Both of them were hitting their strides. Both of them were playing the best tennis that they were playing. Like, you started to see that it wasn't one's up, one's down. No, both of them were on that level scale of playing their best tennis. And Osaka just played better after that. Hitting her spots, fighting on that first serve. It blows my mind that people... No, I shouldn't say that. I think for that fight to happen, it really shows you how good Osaka is and how good Azarenka can be. Because when Azarenka was first coming back onto tour after she had her kid, you could see, and I agree with one of the announcers, I can't remember their name, is one of the ESPN commenters said that it looked, and I think it was Renee Stubbs, but they said that Azarenka was so desperate to get back into that winning form she once had after having her child that it was just too much pressure for her. And I think it was last year's Australian Open or this past year's where Azarenka showed her emotion of how hard it has been for her to make this comeback onto the tour. And that emotion and that fire just showed you how much she wanted to win that match. And I'm not saying Osaka was the same way, but the comeback that Azarenka was painting was such a different level of commitment. And after she won the Western and Southern Open, having that run there, and then having this run at the U.S. Open, she beat Osaka in the final of the Western and Southern Open because she had a walkover, Osaka pulled out in the final, but then having a rematch at the U.S. Open final really showed you the level of tennis that both these players can show, especially on Azarenka's side and Osaka as well. Now, going into the post-match press conference, and this is, I think, the last thing I'm going to say. The post-match press conference for Osaka, when Tom Rinaldi said, "You had 7 masks for 7 matches," because she's showing her support for the Black Lives Matter, having a different name on each mask after wins, after every match, I should say. And Tom Rinaldi asking the question, what was the message you were trying to convey? And look, I'm not going to get political, but if you have to ask, and I tweeted this out, if you have to ask the question of what the message she was trying to convey, you don't get the message. Osaka even said as the response, well, what was the message that you were getting? And I'm just trying to start the conversation. Like, if you have to ask that question, look, I know you're doing your job, but have a better question. Develop the conversation. Use it as a platform. And that's what Osaka did. And that's what these players were doing. Frances Tiafoe, Naomi Osaka, this is what these players have been doing, trying to create that platform. She used her platform to show the political issues and society issues that are happening in this world. So I'm just going to leave it at that. We had an unbelievable U.S. Open. These 2 finals were so much fun to watch and so much fun to be a part of, I would say, as well. And I can't believe we had such a treat for these finals. I absolutely loved it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. And I absolutely loved them. They were really fun to watch, and I hope you guys enjoyed them just as much as I did. So leave a comment down below of what you guys thought, as well as making sure you leave a like on this video, as well as making sure you subscribe to Tweener Head Tennis. If you want to check us out on all the social medias, link to those are down in the description below. And I hope to see you guys very soon for my next video. Hope all of you are doing well. Hope all of you are staying safe. Wear a mask, staying 6 feet apart. Hope to see you guys soon. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate you guys watching this. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, guys.